Chicago Sky's head coach Tyler Marsh has jumped out to a 0-3 start in his rookie campaign. Now there is some growing concern in Chicago that Tyler Marsh might be on the hot seat. But we're going to unpack all that here next, here on the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Well, guys, it might not be the start that everybody was looking forward to. Chicago Sky are 0-3, and a lot of people were questioning new head coach Tyler Marsh. Now, Tyler Marsh came from Las Vegas Aces with Becky Hammond. He was a player developmental coach where he seeks out talent and develops players, and you know what he has done for Jackie Young over her career. But as a head coach, Tyler Marsh is visibly struggling. Chicago Sky are 0-3, and also Tyler Marsh is on the wrong side of history by setting the WNBA record for the largest deficit in defeat in a two-game span of 60 points. First game against the Indiana Fever, the Chicago Sky got beat by 35 points. The second game against the New York Liberty, it got beat by 25. Now, last night's game against the Los Angeles Sparks, they was looking good. They was competing. And then you have some of these second quarter mishaps and the third quarter mishaps. And it seems like everybody is saying that Tyler Marsh is not making adjustments. Now, the roster that Tyler Marsh is working with, I've said this, I've been on record. For the 3-game sample size that we have seen, I think Teresa Weatherspoon would have been better with this roster that they have assembled this year. Tyler Marsh is one of them quiet guys. Like, I don't think he has no fire up under him. We don't know, what he is conveying to the team, but it looks like the team is not responding to what he's conveying. But also, their offense is kind of flawed right now. Taking Angel Reese and putting her at the top of the key did some things that is not really being effective in the offense. I mean, she looks good in spurts, but the second game against the New York Liberty, Angel Reese just looked disconnected from her team. She had a dismal performance, 0-8 from the field, but she still was Angel Reese defensively by grabbing rebounds and playing good individual defense. But as a team, Tyler Marsh don't have this defense on the string. Now, a lot of people saying he's in over his head. A lot of people said you just got to give him time to adjust. A lot of people said, that, coming out the gate, they're going to struggle for the first 5 games before we see an impact. And this is what we're hoping for. But in Chicago, these fans are getting concerned. And there's a lot of rumblings out there that Tyler Marsh is already on the hot seat in his early campaign as a rookie head coach. We can't make no excuse because he's a rookie. I mean, the team has to bounce back. They get another chance to bounce back tomorrow against the Phoenix Mercury. But at the same time, Tyler Marsh has to get it together. Tyler Marsh has to start utilizing his players for the skill sets that they have. And the Chicago Sky defensively are atrocious. They're giving up absolutely too many 3 balls to teams that are really not 3-point shooters. We saw the New York Liberty drop 19 on them. And then the Sparks last night turn around and hit them over the head as well. They let Kelsey Plum do what she wanted to do in moments where she was hitting crucial threes to keep Chicago from coming back. We couldn't get no stops. And I think Tyler Marsh's problem, he is so hell-bent over Rachel Banham to where he thinks that Rachel Banham can spell some of the point guard duties when you got players like Ellie Van Liff. I know she was out yesterday, but also you got Ariel Atkins, which can run the point guard position outside of Courtney Vandersloot. But it seems like every time Rachel Banham comes in the game, he depends on her to spell the point guard duties, and that's not working for Chicago. Rachel Banham is one of them catch and shoot type people that can shoot the three ball. You got to start running some screens and some pin downs, some flare action to get her open so she can get a shot within the offense instead of her being reckless by getting the ball coming down the court and just jacking up threes. That's not going to work. You never give your offense a chance to get set. There was a play in the New York Liberty game where Camilla Cardoso poked him up. He never got the ball into her. He was frustrated. But that ball goes to the coach. Tyler Marsh got to make that adjustment. Tyler Marsh said that, they wanted to feed the post, get the ball into Camilla Cardoso and let her go to work. But she's doing less work than what we think that she needs to be doing more work. Everybody says that, Camilla Cardoso needs to step it up. But I thought last night, Camilla Cardoso, she was engaged. She played, with some intensity. And also, I think Angel Reese bounced back from the New York Liberty game. I think the two bigs played well, but we're not getting nothing off the bench. I mean, we're getting stuff from Rachel Banham, but you're not getting nothing from Michaela Onyenuede. The bench is suffering right now. Rebecca Allen is the only mainstay coming off the bench, which I think Rebecca Allen should be inserted in the starting lineup. She should replace Kia Nurse in that starting lineup. But Tyler Marsh needs to figure it out, and Tyler Marsh needs to turn it around. But let's take a listen to what Tyler Marsh said after yesterday's loss to the LA Sparks. So let's take a listen to what he had to say.
Coach, what do you get your thoughts on Courtney, right? She, first half, 17 for 20 minutes possible she played, but what do you get your thoughts on just the secondary playmakers and how they did there in the first half?
I thought we got some good production from our bench today. We threw a couple of looks of zone at them, and I thought that we were pretty good in it. I think Elizabeth Williams gave us some great minutes off the bench. Camilla got us some foul trouble early. Beck came off the bench and did what she does, and then Rachel held it down from a point guard standpoint, and Michaela gave us some decent minutes as well. So I thought our bench was well. Courtney obviously 34 minutes is a little high for what we're anticipating, but with Haley down tonight, it's kind of what we went with. But she played as well as she could have for tonight. So yeah.
Coach, when you're in a kind of like in a situation that you find yourselves in right now, having lost these 3 games, how important is it to have the veteran leadership on the squad just kind of lifting everyone up to make sure that nobody stays down?
It's really important. I think that my voice extends as much as we see them in film and meetings, traveling, obviously in practices and in games, but the rest of the time they're with each other. And so whether that's in housing, whether that's in the locker room, what have you, you want the same messaging to be communicated all throughout, whether they're in our presence or not. And so that's when you lead on the vet leadership and the vet experience, and the ones who have been around this league a long time that understand this is a long season. And I think we showed a lot of improvement in tonight's game compared to the last two, and so that's what we want to build on moving forward into Phoenix.
With all the threes they hit in the third quarter, were they getting too many open looks? Is there any more that could have been done?
Yeah, I think that this league is a league full of good shot makers, and I think that even those that you may deem to not necessarily be shooters per se, they're still professional basketball players, and any professional basketball player can make an open shot. And so, yeah, we wanted to contest them a little more, but I think we did pretty well for most of the game. They had a 33-point quarter in that third, and that's tough to deal with, tough to come back from, especially when the shots aren't falling on our end at the same pace.
So Angel was credited with 4 assists tonight, but she made about 5 or 6, I thought, assist-worthy type of reads. Can you just talk about her floor game for you guys this afternoon?
Yeah, I thought Angel played really well tonight on both ends. I thought she was locked in. She was communicating.
She had a bounce back game.
And she was pushing up the floor. It's probably not up to her standards still. She's someone holds herself to a high standard.
Another
I think we do as a
double-double.
team as well. And so, but I thought she had some really valuable minutes and some good stretches out there from a defensive and offensive standpoint.
Were turnovers a problem again today?
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
scored 17 points on our 17 turnovers. So yes, turnovers again continue to be something that we struggle with, and will continue to be something that we work on moving forward. But you know, it's another game where we had more possessions than our opponent and come out on the wrong side of it. So those possessions are valuable, and so
Got to get stopped.
you know, we got to utilize them in moments to where we can get extra attempts at the rim, or getting back to the foul line and things of that nature. So got to convert.
Now, you heard what Tyler Marsh had to say, man. And what I get out of that is he's talking about Rachel Banham coming off the bench, and he said something about her running the point guard position. And then he said, you know, he had to do that because Haley was down. But these first two games, you was reluctant to use Haley Van Lith. So you're trying to tell us that now that you put this out there in the air, that Haley Van Lith is going to get some run when she comes back healthy. Because you're talking about Rachel Banham being the backup point guard coming off the bench for Courtney Vandersloot. Courtney Vandersloot playing too many minutes for the age that she is, wearing her down. And she looks old out there. But you got Ariel Atkins on the floor that can consume the point guard duties. Let her run the action. Also, like you said about Haley Van Lith, Haley Van Lith is coming off your bench. Haley Van Lith should be spelling the point guard duties when she come in there. You shouldn't be looking to Rachel Banham to be running the offense as a point guard. You brought Rachel Banham is on this team for her shooting ability. So as a coach, you got to start running some plays for Rachel Banham to shoot the ball instead of Rachel Banham bringing the ball down, just jacking shots up and not letting the offense get set. And then these teams are getting easy transition buckets. You just alluded to the 17 turnovers that you had. That's because Rachel Banham is not a point guard. Give the ball to Ariel Atkins when Courtney Vandersloot is not running the offense. Give the ball to Ariel Atkins and let her run the offense. Also, he talked about, you know, Camila Cardoso. She was in foul trouble. He was talking about Elizabeth Williams coming off the bench. You notice she didn't say nothing about Michaela Onyeawede because Michaela Onyeawede in 3 games, she's struggling. Visibly and mightily, she's struggling. So Tyler Marsh, you got to turn it around, man, because right now there's rumblings on the wall that you're in a hot seat and you're only 3 games in. You got an opportunity to turn this all around tomorrow night against the Phoenix Mercury. Because like they said, you're only good as your victory. So if you get a victory, you know, that silences all the critics. I see everybody in the comments section, #salute. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. And just in case I forgot, tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. And that's going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host, Mike K. Sapp. Catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.